So as many of you know, or many of you who are watching the first time, you probably don't know this. I live in a place where I have the pleasure of not witnessing all the trends of the West. Sure, here in Tokyo, I get a good glimpse at some reference points, but for the most part, I don't have to or pay much attention to trendy fashion out West because I mean, it's always changing. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. However, someone gave me a challenge to review some of these trends from 2022, and I was like, okay, let's do it, let's go. So I'm Reggie Casual, and here are some Western trends I love or hate. Let's get it. All right, so first on the list, we got the Asics buzz. Asics is becoming super popular. Who knew? Who knew Asics was gonna be hot? I knew. But seriously, it makes sense that Asics was rising out west, Kiko and future Jown collabs notwithstanding. I've always been a fan of the Japanese brand Asics. That's how they say it in Japanese. And I've been quoted as saying that they're like the most comfortable sneaker I've ever worn. They have massive colorways, great exclusives, and I mean, they're just all around a great shoe. I'm cautiously optimistic about the hype that's surrounding the company out west. It seems kind of out of nowhere, but I'm all for it if it has anything to do with a company besides Nike. It's just, I'm happy for it. I don't care if you're blowing it out of proportion or not. Anything but Nike is how I feel right now. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Bucket hats. How do I feel about bucket hats? It's a true pioneer of the 80s and 90s, but they hit they're still going on. It's like a big bang in the 2020s period. Just 2020s period, bucket hats all the way. Many people just threw away their dad hats. Like, I don't need this anymore, dog. I don't need it anymore. Just rock the bucket to create more dynamic outfits or just get full coverage. So they didn't have the Forrest Whitaker neck or the red neck, depending on what complexion you are, I guess. But let me tell you this, I appreciate the effort and the versatility of the bucket hat, but I hate bucket hats. I just hate them. They're just not frequent enough as an accessory. They're just a bit louder than a typical hat. And when everybody and their mama, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, their whole damn family reunion is wearing one, it begins to just grate on your nerves a bit. It's just too frequent and far too saturated for me to even partake. And I suspect that these will end up collecting dust very soon in many wardrobes. I don't think it's a trend that can last, in my opinion, but that's just me talking. It's probably not true. It's pretty bad trend forecasting, but I just don't know. I can't do the bucket hat. Dunks, Nike Dunks. So Dunks are actually, I think Dunks are finally beginning to wane, right? Is that what's happening? I'm not sure. Please tell me they are though, because Dunks are the biggest reason I stopped messing with GR Nike releases. That's general release for you people who aren't in the sneaker community. But when you work in the industry and you can clearly see a company feverishly marketing something to the point of manipulation, you gotta tilt your head and ask,
know what, but why though?
Dunks aren't inherently bad though. Many of you love them, but not me personally. I'm just not a fan. I never liked them. Maybe one pair I liked. But then again, my opinion sucks because I like sneakers that many people hate. Some of the stuff that you'll see from me will be like, yo, what is going on? So my tastes are questionable, to say the least. I just take issue with how ubiquitous they are. Ubiquity in the building, my thesaurus brain going on. They're just everywhere. It's just led to a lot of personal fatigue for mainstream sneakers, period, let alone Dunks. So I'm just not with it. I don't hate Dunks. I just hate that they're everywhere and everybody was feverishly going crazy for them. It's just not my cup of tea. The cropped and boxed look. So y'all cropping your shirts now, finally? Making those hoodies a bit shorter to create some silhouette changes. Y'all going crazy out there. I like it. I'm here for it. I'm all for it. You see, being in Japan, you get these a lot. We've been had cropped and boxed. Most of the clothes here are made with these cuts in abundance. So I'm happy that this is spreading to the globe. But in a thick and juicy twerking butt, one of those nice ones. We need to get a little bit more vicious with it. Some of the looks I've seen are still the same looks you had, but cropped. And then there are some people who are just cropping a bit too much. You're going a little bit overboard. I'm gonna put this all the way up to my nipples. And some of the layering needs work too, but that's just my opinion. But aesthetically, it's fine. I'm glad that people are playing with silhouettes more and diving headfirst out of brands, diving away from brands, right? I'm glad that that's happening. So as far as the trend, I suspect it to grow as people become a little bit more, have a higher aptitude for it. So I'm here for it. I'm here for cropped and boxed. Just, there needs to be, you know, some time to get used to it, to figure it out. And some of the looks will enhance greatly from that. 2022 saw Gorpcore rising, Gorpcore, or just, I think it was like the end of 2021 and then 2022. I mean, we made a Gorpcore video, I believe a few months ago, and everybody was like, oh, that's what we calling it now? What the hell is Gorpcore? You corny for calling that. There's probably some people who just always wear outdoor wear. Listen, man, sometimes things need a name to signal what they are. I didn't come up with the name. Talk to the Gorpcore namer, because it certainly was not me. Don't blame me for what other people said. That being said, I have a love-hate relationship with Gorpcore because it's like the cousin of techwear, and I do enjoy a bit of techwear. I just don't like most utility fabrics unless it's real high quality and feels amazing. That's not me being bougie, that's just, I'm real big on fabric. And also I can't stand the sound of cheap nylon swishing around. I hate that sound, I just do. And so much of that Gorpcore stuff uses that nylon is just, And because of that, I absolutely hate wearing that stuff. It's just not comfortable to me. Also, Gorpcore is incredibly seasonal. So its worth as a trend is really up for debate. Like, if you have to wear Gorpcore because it's cold or raining or snowing, is it really a trend? It's just functional, right? Are you wearing it all the time? Yo, it's sunny outside, I'm gonna wear some Gorpcore, I'm gonna wear some North Face, right? I'm gonna wear this big North Face bubble jacket in the middle of the frying sun. Like, you're not gonna do that. So I don't know, I guess the way that people are putting it together could be considered a trend, but it's really nothing I haven't seen before, right? It really isn't nothing that you haven't seen before. I'm really perplexed by this trend of Gorpcore. I just think it's just regular outdoor wear made to be in a more consistent style, I guess. I will say though that labels like Ann Wander out here in Japan take the cake though. So if you're going for a style, I guess that's what you mean by Gorpcore. It's great stuff. And of course we know about that purple label, that North Face purple label. So good stuff if you put in the effort, but ultimately I'm pretty mid on Gorpcore. Pretty mid on Gorpcore. I can't believe I just said that. I said mid. Ugh. I gotta wash my mouth out with that one. But yeah, Gorpcore is fine. It's just, is it a trend? Really? Next is content creator brands, which is not having to do with wearing something, but actually, you know, creating a brand. I guess it has something to do with wearing something. Anyway, seeing as how I teach people or consult people on how to make proper brands, and I've consulted with a ton of clients, this one is a mixed bag for me. It's a bit of a mixed bag, because you know, I make money off of people creating brands and needing my help. So on that end, I'm all for it. Keep making brands, do it. But, and a big fake implant but, there's so many bad ones. Just uninspired garbage. There's very little semblance of caring. Very little for like every Vujade or Haven Court, there's an Exodus 0 that makes me want to pound my bare fists on the pavement in anger. But that's to be expected though. So it's not so bad if you know that deal. But I would love to see more effort, more brand building, more story building, business acumen, which is very important, and overall thoughtfulness put into these projects. But hey, who the hell am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? However, I do love that people are becoming entrepreneurs and using fashion as a way to become that. I hate that most of the stuff is just bad, and not just personally bad, just objectively bad. However, this is your first go at it, do it, right? Do it, learn the process, just don't quit, get better, design better, become a better business person, and make what you wanna make. I'm not here to stop you from making that brand, right? But content creators specifically, I think most of them are, you know, community-based, so I'm all for that, so. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's a bad trend. I think more people who are content creators are doing that anyway. And finally, the last one, 最後ですね. Mules. I'm sorry, I'm a regular sandal man myself. So I apologize to Drew What It Do in advance. I can't do it, dog. I just can't. I'll wear geta before I touch Mules. I'll walk barefoot, exposing my African ankles before Mules touch these hooves, bro. African, all ashy and everything. I got the ashy knuckle on that side. Yeah, that's what I got. And no, I'm not wearing Mules. I just can't do it. I mean, you guys can make them work, right? Like I've seen some people wear them and you know, it goes along with the outfit, but this is just one trend I ain't touching. I ain't touching it, ever. You ain't gonna force me to do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not. So yeah, it's very short on Mules. I think as a shoe is viable because a lot of people are wearing them, but as me personally, negative, negatory, right? No way. Nah, I'm not wearing Mules. I'm not. It's not gonna happen. I keep on saying the same thing, but that's just how feverishly that's how fervent I don't like this trend. And those are the trends from the West I love and hate. It's a nice little package. Most of these are street-driven trends. I get that, which is where most trends reside now anyway, so there's that little nugget. We'll talk about other stuff, perhaps, right? Or whatever topic you want. But before that, let me know some trends you love or hate in the comments. Or did you like any of these? And why? Put why too. And if you want to gain access to our private Discord and monthly fashion brand building webinar, join us on Patreon for all that and more. And more. It's gonna be more stuff? Great. So you can join us on Patreon. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international fashion culture and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And I will see you guys in a minute. Deuces.